Tonight, Renee Lawrence's tell-all interview. Has Schapelle Corby been lying all along? Hey Dad star Robert Hughes found guilty of 9 child sex offences. There's an Aussie reno boom, but can a spot of DIY cost you more in the long run?
And after almost 5 years behind the desk, it's time to say goodbye to Charlie.
This is The Project. Good evening, welcome to The Project, and for the last time, can I please ask you to give a big round of applause to Mr. Steve Price?
Yeah. Obviously a very big night. I have to urge everybody to hang around. We finally got him to do it. He sat down and did a one-on-one interview with me, and I can reveal there's one question that he refused to answer.
Ooh. Oh, sorry, I already know.
People, writing and emailing you saying how much they're going to miss you. Adam on Twitter saying he's cancelled all of his plans for tonight to watch the final episode of The Project.
You're not going to start crying already.
No, I'm already getting emotional.
There might be some tears tonight, so I have set up, Charlie, I know you're going to get emotional, so I've set up Charlie Cry Cam. That is Charlie Cry Cam. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the show. And also, I think there's going to be somebody else who maybe shed some tears tonight, so I've also set up Steve Price Cry Cam.
Thank you, Pete. Let's see what's happening in the news today, Monday the 7th of April. And for years, Robert Hughes has been protesting his... Thanks for the update, Erin Bell there. A bombshell from convicted drug smuggler Renee Lawrence, who claims Schapelle Corby had knowingly smuggled drugs into Indonesia on more than one occasion. In an interview that was recorded without her knowledge, Lawrence alleges Corby knew about the drugs the day she was arrested.
She said that she knew that the marijuana was in the body bag, but the person that was supposed to be at the airport at that time didn't show up for work or couldn't be there for some strange reason. I'm not sure, so she got caught.
2 more acoustic signals have been detected by an Australian Navy ship as the search for flight MH370 continues in the southern Indian Ocean. The signals are consistent with those emitted by black box flight recorders. The development's been cautiously described as very encouraging.
Clearly, this is a most promising lead, and probably in the search so far, it's probably the best information that we have had.
10 Eyewitness News reporter Rebecca Munro has been keeping across the search. Rebecca, it sounds positive. Do you think this could be the breakthrough people have been waiting for?
Well, guys, it's certainly the best news that we have heard. The pings were picked up by the Australian vessel, and it's believed to have come from the plane's black box and cockpit voice recorder. But given the history of misinformation from this search, authorities are not going to confirm that it is the plane until they have actual wreckage in their hand, pretty much. And to do that, they now need to get another signal from the vessel in order to pinpoint a location, so then they can set up the underwater search to find that wreckage.
Well, the problem now, Rebecca, of course, is that this black box is due to run out of battery life, and so the ping stops, presumably.
Yeah, well, time is definitely of the essence here. The shelf life of the black box expired yesterday, but experts say it probably has another 2 days before battery life dies. Some experts say it has another 10 days. So, authorities are hoping they can get this third signal within the next 24 hours before the batteries completely die out.
I appreciate the update, Rebecca. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
The man wanted for questioning over the murder of French student Sophie Columbet in Brisbane has been arrested on the New South Wales mid-north coast. 25-year-old Benjamin Millwood was taken into custody outside a home in Coffs Harbour this afternoon after reportedly being spotted at a local supermarket. After 7 years of negotiations, a historic free trade deal has finally been struck between Australia and Japan, opening up a much bigger market for Aussie farmers. The agreement will also see us pay up to $1,500 less for an average price Japanese car and provide access to cheaper electronic goods.
More trade will make both countries richer and our relationship even stronger.
Yeah, Tony Abbott in Tokyo there to help seal the deal and, of course, go for a little bike ride. Now, the Japanese wanted to give him a present, but what do you give the man who has everything? How about the same thing he already has? Just to make sure. Yeah, there it is.
I guess the first one got sweaty, and so he's got one for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he can just eat pasta with abandon.
That's it. I'm not sure what's Japanese for orkies, but...
And Prince George is looking as cute as ever as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived in New Zealand for the start of their tour down under. They'd already made a brief pit stop in Sydney en route to Wellington, with Kate looking glamorous on both occasions. That does not step with the child. Step with the child. Step with the child.
That looked like she was sporting the new outfit for the Virgin Hostess. Like, that was really great.
It's amazing. Most people get off with like a hoodie and tracky pants with like spew down the top, and then she's just, you know, looking amazing.
Royalty.
Who do you fly, Carrie?
You know what it's like flying with children. You ain't looking like that at the end.
Yeah,
I want to know, did people complain? People go, oh, would you shut that baby up? Future King of England, my ass. Shut it up.
I got to say that Kate did look good, but George, I got to say, little baby, you looked a little bit puffy around the eyes, to be honest.
He's got to make more of an effort.
Oh, look at those cheeky cheeks.
Oh, he's cute.
Oh, they're great. Yes, the Royals arrived in Sydney to catch their connecting flight to Wellington, and Brekkie TV were desperate to get something, anything from Kate Wills and, of course, baby George, and perhaps they were a little too desperate.
As the cavalcade of royals make their way across. They arrived about an hour and a half ago, we think, on a Qantas flight. Oh, what's going on? Get out the way! Get out the way!
Can you see her? Oh, there she is.
Oh, no, that's not her. There she is. There's a baby's head. There's George's, the top of his head.
Just give us a wave. Give us a wave.
Go on, turn around.
Come on. We just really want them to give us a wave.
Turn around, turn around.
Come on, turn around.
Turn around.
Come on.
Turn around. What?
No.
David Koch was yelling at me. I wouldn't turn around either.
We would all be just the same if we were covering that.
No. It's amazing watching that. I never realised how good it feels to hear Koshy frustrated.
We've got to take a break, but stay with us. We've got exclusive footage from that interview with Renee Lawrence coming up soon.
Coming up, work from home, you might be surprised what people wear or don't wear in the Home Office. He's been hanging out with all the big names in Hollywood, so what's brought Josh Lawson home to Australia? And I can't leave without another mention of Barack Obama. But what is it about this selfie that has the White House on edge? You're watching The Project.
You're unbelievable.
I'm Ray Martin. I'm George Negus. I'm Yana Van.
I'm Charlie Pickering.
They know who you are, Charlie. Just get on with it.
Peter Garrett and I have lived under the same gravity all of our lives. And by this logic, if we lived on the moon, everyone would have an afro. I think I felt the schnitzel kicking. Hi. I'm dead.
That's not how you test DNA.
Maybe not, but it feels great. I've got a nomination.
Yeah, what do you got?
Moose knuckle. Do you know moose knuckle? It's a male camel toe. Do you know this? This is by far the most informative news service on television. It's safe to say I haven't been this happy to be on a bandwagon since the Project's Coney 2012 special.
I can't believe we've had so many 80s theme shows.
I thought it was only my hair that went on a journey, but wow.
Some more news now. In a wild storm and
100 people were arrested after an annual spring break party in the Californian town of Isla Vista turned into a street brawl. The 15,000-strong crowd started lighting fires and throwing bricks, rocks and bottles at police who were forced to use tear gas. More than 44 people were taken to hospital. Ukraine's acting president has called an emergency security meeting after pro-Russian protesters stormed a government building in Donetsk. They clashed with police demanding a referendum on independence. There were similar incidents in the eastern cities of Luhansk and Kharkiv. Hollywood legend Mickey Rooney, whose films with Judy Garland made him the biggest box office attraction in the US for 3 years running, has died at the age of 93. A star of both stage and screen, he was famous for playing Andy Hardy, the all-American boy next door. His acting career spanned 8 decades. And the White House is considering a selfie ban after President Barack Obama was unwittingly caught up in a Samsung promotion that went viral. Obama's advisors were not amused when they discovered the fun photo with Red Sox baseball star David Ortiz was an orchestrated PR stunt.
Yeah. He gave up on an assault weapons ban, so maybe a selfie ban is a bit more realistic. Maybe that'll happen.
What happens if you meet the leader of the Free? What are you supposed to do? Like, just remember it in your own mind? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all.
Now, Charlie, you've sat here for years on your high horse and asked impertinent questions of all of your guests.
Wow, going in hard.
So, for this, your last show, I thought it was time somebody put you on the spot, and I honestly couldn't think of a better person to do that than me. Well, they label this the final showdown. You and I together, head-to-head, for the final time. Looking forward to it?
Can't wait.
Over 41 years, I've voted Labor, I've voted Green, and I've voted Coalition. Have you ever voted for the Liberals?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
Once.
Does every person who washes up on Australian soil deserve to live here?
Not everyone, but if they're a genuine refugee, yes, they do.
And what do we do with those who are not genuine refugees?
We return them.
And what if they've destroyed their papers and don't want to go back?
Well, that's the job of the Immigration Department to research that. Paperwork shouldn't challenge someone's human rights.
You're actually looking forward to time off from your 1 hour a day's work?
It's very funny. You and I both know makeup takes 7 hours before they do the show.
Especially with your hair. Who's funnier, Dave Hughes or Pete Elliott?
Neither of them are as funny as you, Steve.
What's with your haircut? I mean, it's been described to me as like something out of Beverly Hills 90210.
Really?
Yeah.
So what does that make you, the creepy old guy that ran the Peach Pit?
I don't know. If you could do the last 5 years over again, obviously you can't, would you smile more in the promo photos?
No. Very small teeth.
Who will you miss more, Carrie or me?
Sorry, Steve. I'm going to miss Carrie very much.
Why?
She's one of my best friends, and she is just the most extraordinary person I've ever worked with.
From tomorrow, will your phone number still be 0417? Is that right?
You can't put that in. You can't.
Well, Charlie, it's been a great pleasure working with you. Whenever anyone says to me, how the hell can you bear working with that Charlie Pickering, I tell them that you're actually a very nice, smart young man who just has strong opinions.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's been a joy working with you. I've got another thank you for you at the end of the show, so I'll save some of my good stuff. But for now, put it there.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you, mate. They cut out the bit where we started fighting.
Yeah, the physical wrestling on the ground.
There's still time. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Coming up, Renee Lawrence has raised questions about the truth of Chappelle's story, but can she herself be believed?
She did a good job on keeping her secrets. She let one slip one night.
This is The Project.
Hi, Charlie. Mate, I'll miss you. I will. I say it in a heartfelt way. Not everyone in the coalition will, but I will, because you're a man with very strong values, great sense of humour, and you're a true believer for your cause. Well done, buddy, and good luck.
Congratulations on everything you've done, mate. It's been extraordinary. You've left a legacy. There's nothing better that anyone can say about you than that, so congratulations on everything. And I'm desperately sorry that you've had to share your last moments with Steve. That really sucks.
Charlie Pickering, you raving lefty hipster. You've got nothing, mate. Don't come anywhere near breakfast. We don't need talent at breakfast. Stay away.
Charlie, it's been an absolute joy, mate. You'll be missed. For me personally, there are two highlights. Our trip to Afghanistan and this.
And swimsuit model Marissa Miller says her diet consists of eating naked. Interesting, because it's the complete opposite of my diet, where I picture everyone else naked.
Good sandwich?
I'm glad you're leaving, Charlie. Stunt like that, mate. You know what? I wanted to mention, Charlie, you probably don't remember the first time we ever met, but I do, and it was in 2003, and we were up in Sydney, and I was at the comedy club, and I did open mic, and I tried for the very first and only time to do stand-up, and Charlie was kind of hosting and headlining that night. and I was so bad. I mean, I died 1,000 deaths, right? And afterwards, you were so nice to me.
Oh, God, thank God.
You know,
I was so worried you told me to give up comedy. I'm working with Farrell, buddy.
Yeah, that's it. And he spat on me on his way out. No, you were so nice, and I was rubbish. And
I'm coming to the States. Can you hook a brother up?
I'm pretty busy, mate.
You were obviously in awe of Charlie. What about these people you work with in the States? Do you get intimidated by those guys? When
you do initially, I think. You know, you see people you've seen on movies and TV and stuff, but within, you know, a couple of minutes, you just realise they're just another. Yeah. It's another job, and they're just another person. But I think that's a testament to how nice they are as people, and I think they deliberately go out of their way to make you feel at home. Yeah. But I'm sure there are intimidate you a little bit. I luckily haven't met any. Apart from Charlie.
Yeah. And you haven't been like that on the set of York, because you've just wrapped filming The Little Death, where you wrote it, you starred in it, you directed it.
Yeah.
You know, just took over the whole thing.
I was too terrified to be a diva on it. Yeah, it was far and away the hardest thing I've ever done. But maybe the most rewarding in a lot of ways, because, you know, I've been acting for a long, long time. I had an agent when I was 9 years old, so I've been doing it a long time. And this directing thing was something I've always had in the back of my mind, and to finally do it, yeah, it's been a big sigh of relief for me. But it's, it'll be out later this year, and you know, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's,
can't wait to see it either. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, is out this week on DVD and supersized Blu-ray with 763 new jokes.
Yes, I've counted them.
Could you please thank Josh Lawson?
Thanks, guys.
If you have just joined us, here's a quick recap of today's headlines. Pashing at the bar. If they don't obey, they get blasted with a water gun.
What happens if you're just practising on your own arm? Like just for practice. Will that do that?
Yeah, I think
we just
you
need
are.
a bit more of that. Don't feel like we got it.
It's funny. The GB. I've actually pashed someone at the GB.
Have you?
Yeah. That's all. No, so if I could remember it clearly, that would ruin a memory for me.
It is annoying, though, when you're trying to get a drink and there's just two people going at it. It's like, get out the way.
2GB.
No, just DGB.
Right.
No one patches at 2GB.
No, not a lot.
Tweet us if you've patched Charlie at the GB. Now, guys, I've been covering the anti-McDonald's protests in Tacoma, Victoria for a long time now. And the update is the Macca's opened today in Tacoma. And the No Macca's protesters were there. You got a little bit Games of Thrones here for a second. That's Ronald McDonald's head on a spike there. Ned Stark was, I think, to the left there. But there was also another crowd. There was also the pro-Macca's crowd that were lining up to get into Macca's. There they are. They were a heap, and they want their Big Macs. There you go. They want their Macca's. They want their Macca's.
I'm not sure that woman needs any Macca's.
Oh, hey, come on, you go easy. But there was a third group, okay? There was a third group that this man was representing.
So why have you come out this morning?
Because I think there's people out there that don't care one way or the other, and these protesters got to be shown that.
He really wanted to show people how much he didn't care. He really didn't care. But how much didn't he care?
How early have you gotten here and what are you waiting for?
I got here about 4 o'clock this morning. I want to be the first in. I'm not for or against. I just want people to know that there's two sides to everything.
Pashing at the bar. If they don't obey, they get blasted with a water gun.
What happens if you're just practising on your own arm? Like just for practice. Will that do that?
Yeah, I think
we just
you
need
are.
a bit more of that. Don't feel like we got it.
It's funny. The GB. I've actually pashed someone at the GB.
Have you?
Yeah. That's all. No, so if I could remember it clearly, that would ruin a memory for me.
It is annoying, though, when you're trying to get a drink and there's just two people going at it. It's like, get out the way.
2GB.
No, just DGB.
Right.
No one patches at 2GB.
No, not a lot.
Tweet us if you've patched Charlie at the GB. Now, guys, I've been covering the anti-McDonald's protests in Tacoma, Victoria for a long time now. And the update is the Macca's opened today in Tacoma. And the No Macca's protesters were there. You got a little bit Games of Thrones here for a second. That's Ronald McDonald's head on a spike there. Ned Stark was, I think, to the left there. But there was also another crowd. There was also the pro-Macca's crowd that were lining up to get into Macca's. There they are. They were a heap, and they want their Big Macs. There you go. They want their Macca's. They want their
sure that woman needs any Maccas.
Oh, hey, come on, you go easy. But there was a third group, okay? There was a third group that this man was representing.
So why have you come out this morning?
Because I think there's people out there that don't care one way or the other, and these protesters got to be shown that.
He really wanted to show people how much he didn't care. He really didn't care. But how much didn't he care?
How early have you got here and what are you waiting for?
I got here about 4 o'clock this morning. I want to be the first in. I'm not for or against. I just want people to know that there's two sides to everything.
Me, interpretation of physicality always seems like a bit of sauce for TV, but I wouldn't take that into court and say, see. You know, to me, that's I'm not convinced one way or the other.
So the elephant in the room here is, what's Renee Lawrence's motivation in all of this?
Well, there's talk that they haven't got along, that they don't like each other, and that maybe it'll impress the Indonesian government, and that maybe they'll think, see, we did the right thing. Well, I mean, I don't know whether money did change hands to Renee Lawrence. We were categorically told that the money that was given to the agency that got this interview, that no money went to Renee Lawrence. But
well, it'd be breaking Australian law if they did do that.
The big question, I think, now is if there will be any impact on her parole. And Fairfax Indonesian correspondent Michael Batchelard has been covering Chappelle and the Bali Nine for years. Michael, what do you make of this? Time now for the Farewell Charlie Whip Around. And first up, it is comedy veteran Steve Vizard. Steve, what do you want to say to Charlie in his final night?
Well, Carrie, Charlie, it's a big day for you, obviously. And Channel 10, I can honestly say, have spared no expense on this. They've literally run extension cords out of the building into the car park situation. But be that as it may, Charlie, you know when you came to everyone a few months ago and said, will I leave the security of the project and take a punt into the unknown? And everyone said, go for it, mate. Nobody expected you to take their advice seriously. I mean, nobody. I mean, what were you thinking? But, mate, the decision is, mate, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with you. You're a really good bloke. You're a great TV talent, and you've been in people's living rooms for a long time, and I think you've changed, in a way, a generation. It's great to count you as a friend, and I look forward to the next episode of the Charlie Pickering story, whether it be a home shopping network or KFC ads. And that $100 is still on the table if you kiss Steve Price goodbye tonight.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.
No.
All right, Kitty, up next. What have you got to say to Charlie, Kitty?
Chuck, what an absolute pleasure. Now, you and I have shared one thing over all these years, and that is a love of humiliating dogs in stupid costumes. So here to say goodbye is my very own dog in a tux. Henny, wave. Wave. Oh, sad. Say goodbye to Charlie. Dog in a tux, just for you. I'm sorry we couldn't do the piano. Bye.
Thank you so much, Kitty.
Thank you. Thanks, Kitty. And your good mate Sam Mack has called in from Sydney. G'day, Sam.
Hey guys, Charlie, I can't believe it's over. So many Charlie memories. You've done over 1,000 shows. I've seen every minute of every single one of those shows. That's why I'm qualified to share the top 3 Charlie memories right now. At number 3, the time you wore a suit. So good. At number 2, oh yeah, we'll all remember this one. The time you said, and this is such a Charlie thing to say, you said, we'll be back after the break. Classic Charlie. And number 1, what about this? Number 1 Charlie memory. The time I listed the top 3 Charlie memories, and number 1 was such an anticlimax that it just cut to a really disappointed look on your face. Do you remember that, Charlie? Oh, we had a laugh, don't we? Look, I just want to go out with a song, guys. This is my song for Charlie. That's the song, Charlie. I hope you enjoyed it. They only organised this at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I didn't have time to write any lyrics, but that chord progression was just for you, my friend. Just for you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. And a Farewell Charlie Whip Around wouldn't be complete without a chat to our very own Dave Hughes. Hey, Hughesy.
Hey, Carrie, and hey, Charlie, mate. At the Comedy Festival at the moment, so I can't be there, but great shows on book tickets, Dave Hughes. Hellier. But, mate, I respect you so much, I've now got your haircut. And I was there since day one, along with Carrie, and, mate, I know how much you've put into these 5 years. All jokes aside, mate, you are the heart and soul, along with Carrie, of this show. You've cared for every second on air, mate. You know what? If I could give you an awkward Hughesy hug right now, I would. And you know what? I'm gonna. Here we go.
he come from?
So you're performing at the Comedy Theatre. That's good. Mate, can I just say, this job has been a pretty extraordinary ride, and to share so much of it with you over the years has just been wonderful. So thank you so much for being an amazing bloke to work with.
A few more goodbyes coming up after the break. We'll be back.
Charlie, you're leaving the project. Well, some things have changed since I was in charge of Her Majesty's Australian Dominion. Henceforth, you shall be referred to as Sir Charles Pickering.
Charlie, thanks for looking after me every time I've appeared on the channel. Here's little sayings to help you on your way, and this is the one for you. It's okay to let your mind go blank, but please turn off the sound.
Hi, my love. Congratulations. 1,200 episodes of live TV is a phenomenal achievement. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
I did this pre-recording so I could get a word in. Charlie Pickering, he just rolled right over the top of me.
You say that we in the media can't too much about this. But I've got to tell you, if you're information bomb, we talked about this before.
I just want to say, am I upset about you leaving? Adios, amigo.
Want to kick things off, Pete?
You've built something amazing, mate. You really have. And your passion for the show, not just on air, but off air, seriously, every little detail. Up until today, you have still been suggesting ways we can do things better, and it's absolutely amazing. I want to let you guys have your moment. There's so much more I could say, but I'm proud to be your friend, and it's been a pleasure working with you this year. Thank you.
A few weeks ago at the fact that 5 years ago when we auditioned for this show, we were just the ring-ins at the end of the desk to help find the host for this show, and we were throwing in some news and some comedy from the side. You were doing the comedy. And at the end of the week, they said, actually, you two seem to be getting along. Why don't we put you in the middle with Dave? And 5 years later, here we are. And I've got to say that you have been the driving force in making this show what it is today. Your quick wit, ridiculously quick wit, your passion, your integrity, your ability to suck someone into a debate they never thought they were going to have is extraordinary. I want to say thank you for holding my hand through some incredibly difficult times professionally and personally, and for both of us, there's been times when you've sat down in an absolute tears. There's been times when I've sat down with tears rolling down my face, and you would look at me and you'd say something highly inappropriate, and then the light would come on and we'd laugh and do what we do best together, and it has been such a joy. Thank you for making me laugh like no one else makes me laugh. You're extraordinary. You have become such a great friend, and I know that now that we don't work together 5 days a week, we might actually hang out, which would be awesome. In the treehouse even, if I'm allowed up in the treehouse. Nothing dodgy happens in the treehouse, by the way. And I know this is not goodbye forever. It is just goodbye for now, and all the best in becoming a dad, and you will be an amazing father. And I just want to give you something, a goodbye thing. I know that it has irritated you like to no end, the fact that I eat your activated nuts on a daily basis. So I've bought you a year's supply of activated nuts. When I eat nuts, I will think of you. So thank you, Charlie.
Thank you very much.
I love you a lot.
When I imagined signing off on the show, I definitely wanted a big stack of nuts in front of me. I've got a few things I'd like to say. I'll begin, most importantly, by thanking my wife, Sarah, for all of her love and support. I can't say how excited I am for us to have dinner again at a regular time. And also to my family, who somehow managed to continue to support me after I told them I was leaving a law firm to take up comedy. And they have helped me enormously over my time of doing the project. I'm now going to thank the people that make the show, and this will be a bit of name-checking of people who've been very important now. They may not be familiar names to the people watching at home, but they are the people who've made this show possible every night. And if you've enjoyed watching the show, then you have enjoyed the work that they have put in. First off to David Mott and Beverly McGarvey, who took a big risk on me, and to Paul and Sandy and everyone from the network who gave me the opportunity to make so much TV. I'll be forever grateful to all of you. To Craig, who is the nutty professor who came up with this show. About 5.5 years ago, he had an idea that it was possible to make news in a way that people could relate to more easily, that could be entertaining, it could actually be enjoyed the way that everyone enjoys the news in the real world. It was a bold experiment, and I'm thankful to you, Craig, for making me a part of that. You've taught me a hell of a lot, and I'll always appreciate it. To the entire production team of the project, you are simply the best and most fun team I've ever worked with. To Alicia, Eve, Meg and everyone in makeup, to Nat, Bridge and everyone in wardrobe, thank you for the enormous effort that it has taken to make me presentable on a nightly basis. We've seen how bad the hair can get. This didn't happen by accident. To Tim, Sash, Reese, Amy, Jackie and the entire floor crew, you are not only the best crew in the business, but more importantly, you are the best audience in rehearsal. And I still think most of my best jokes never made it to air, but I'm glad you got to hear them. To Anthony, Paula and everyone in publicity, thank you for all of your support and for the opportunity to have so many early morning phone calls with a seemingly endless number of breakfast radio shows around the country. And of course, a big thank you to all of those breakfast radio shows for having me on to promote the project. I'll need you in the future. To Danny, Bros, Dan, Jerry and all of the warm-up guys, to Toby, Juzzy, Chris, Warwick, Carl, Dan, Alicia, Liesl, Adam, Jared, all of the writers who've worked on the show, to JT, Marg, Paul and all of the team who find the funny clips. Without all of you, the laughs would have been a lot harder to come by around here, and I salute you, and this would not have happened without you. To Celeste, who runs the auto cue, she's working right now. And I will say the only one who is, except for camera 2. But I have to say, Celeste, without you, I would have been a babbling fool here with nothing to say for so many nights, and I appreciate it. To Steve. Now, for some reason, people don't think we get along.
Really?
But nothing could be further from the truth, and you and I know that. It's a joy to work with you. Now, sure, we may not always have seen eye to eye, but I've found if you stand on a box or sit on a phone book as you are now, that usually sorts the problem out. But in all seriousness, whilst we haven't always agreed, I know that we both believe that this has to be a contest of ideas. And if you don't have ideas contesting, then bad ideas will get through, and that doesn't serve anyone at all. So thank you for the contest. It's been an absolute joy.
Enjoyed every minute. Thank you.
I had a chance to thank Dave earlier, who was incredible to work with. But Pete, I just have to say that we haven't had long to work together, but it's been an absolute joy working with you. You are far and away one of the funniest people in the country. It is a joy to come to work and make comedy with you, and I look forward to doing it again in the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Now, I'm almost there. Tell them it'll be a minute. Anyway, I just want to say that I'm not the only person leaving the project that is very important. There's a guy named Chris Walker who is leaving the show as well, and he doesn't know I'm going to do this, but Chris, can you please come up here as well? Chris started out when we... Yeah, sit on B-Slap. This is exactly how I imagined it.
Can I go and do the radio show?
Yeah, sure. No, tell him you'll be late. I just want to say, Chris, you've been here from day one. You started out as a segment producer, worked up to EP of the show. You are the glue that has held this together. Every day working with you has been a joy. Your capacity, your creativity, your ability to produce television has been remarkable. And I want to thank you very much for everything that you've done and for the relationship. Thank you very much.
I think that's it, Charlie.
No,
one more.
Carrie, you're simply the most impressive person I've ever worked with. I just think that your class, your humility and your strength, they are a wonder to behold on a daily basis, and I've been lucky to see them up so close. You've been my trusted friend from day one. The thing I will miss most about leaving the project is coming in to work with you every day. And remarkably, the sentiment I was going to finish on was the same as you. Now that we don't see each other every day, we might get to hang out. But thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
And finally, my biggest thanks of all goes to you watching. I consider every minute that I'm on air to be an absolute privilege, and that you would invite me into your homes night after night means the world to me. It's been an honour being in your television, and I look forward to doing it again before too long. Thank you for everything. Good night.